friends, it's Tuesday, April 18th, and we just finished our Board of Supervisors meeting. We started at 9 and ended at about 1:45. I mean, it was a really long meeting. Mostly we had a lot of people in the call to the audience. I think I counted and we had 34 people. So thank you to Serina Quiroz for reading the land acknowledgement. We really appreciate you doing that. And we thought it was super appropriate because Earth Day is on Saturday, and Serina works at the Elletown Flint Mills Community Center as the coordinator and for Pima County Natural Resources and Parks and Rec. So thank you for that. We thank you to the De Gracia Elementary School students. Supervisor Scott arranged for them to come, and they recited the Pledge of Allegiance and also sang the national anthem, and that was really sweet and a really beautiful way to start our meeting. So if any of you work with young students and would like to invite them, I mean, that invitation is open. We'd love to have you come down to our Board of Supervisors meetings. And if you can't come down, we can always record you and play a video, because I know it's sometimes difficult in the middle of a school day to do that. We proclaimed April 19th through April 23rd, the Tucson International Mariachi Conference Week in Pima County. We have a lot of events happening. We're going to go ahead and attach a flyer to the bottom of the video as well. We encourage you to come out. It's going to be great. At Thursday, just to give you a little snapshot, tomorrow is a canta, and so we have students that sent in their auditions, and a handful were selected as the best of the best, and so there'll be a competition. So I'll definitely be there for that. The Thursday is the student showcase, where students from all over Tucson, and I believe we have California and Texas represented, and I think a couple in Arizona, others in Arizona, and there'll be a competition for elementary, middle, and high school. That's going to be a wonderful event, and I will definitely be there cheering on my daughter with Mariachi Aslan de Pueblo High School. But I love watching all of the students, and I'm so proud of all of the improvements that they make through the year. And so it's just going to be a really fun event. There was a unanimous vote today to deny a 65-foot, which is essentially a 7-story building, that as tall as a 7-story building, cell tower in District 3. And that was, I think, an important vote, because we have requests in the pipeline coming up for 3 additional towers. And so if we look at that vote, it's in a residential area. And so if the cell tower was 50 feet, it wouldn't have to come to the Board of Supervisors. Initially, they'd requested 105 feet. And what we heard very clearly from the community is that, this is not an industrial area, it's a residential area, it's zone residential. And there's a reason why those votes come to the Board of Supervisors. And so it's important for us to be able to consider those. And I was as pleasantly surprised that it was a unanimous vote to deny. I also want to thank Steve Holmes, our Assistant County Administrator, Dan Sullivan, and Mari Vasquez for your update on homelessness and public safety and talking about the housing crisis that we have here. I think it's incredibly important. And really, we get so many complaints from a lot of the people at the call to the audience about what we're doing. And so I believe it's very important for us to continue to have these important conversations within earshot of some of our biggest critics, in order for them to hear what we are doing. And Jen Wagner, I want to thank you as she came to call to the audience, and I want to thank you for your advocacy of trans youth in our community, and for coming to call to the audience. I know it's not, it can be a very intimidating room if you're coming with an opinion that is differing from the majority of the people there. And I just wanted to say how much I appreciated your voice and advocacy. We discussed the Economic Development Strategic Plan. That item passed 4-1 with Supervisor Christie voting no. I think it's noteworthy that the Small Business Commission passed it unanimously after looking it over. I heard a lot of, well, you're not addressing this, you're not addressing that, but every supervisorial office had an opportunity to meet with staff to talk about the plan. And I found it interesting that Supervisor Christie was the no vote, but he opted not to take an opportunity to vote with staff to kind of address his concerns. I think that the plan would have been stronger had we all had an opportunity to weigh in on this strategic plan, because we are the economic engine in Pima County. Pima County is, and so it's important for us to have a development plan in order to address that. We've had one since 2017. I don't know what the votes were before, but I do think that it's important for us to continue to work to improve the plan. And it is something that is, as I like to say, a living document. And so as our community ebbs and flows with their needs, so should this strategic plan. But on the positive side, it does make us eligible for federal and state funding if we have a plan together, and I think that that's incredibly important. So I'm glad for that. We did have a unanimous vote for Pause for Change. It's an anti-vaping campaign. It's for our schools. It was a no-cost extension, but I think it's important that we discuss and continue to put emphasis and support behind campaigns, those kind of campaigns that are keeping our young people safe. We talked about the PAYGO program, and the item read the reimagining of PAYGO, and I do think that that was very misleading. If you look at the attachments, specifically the county administrator memorandum dated 4/12 or 4/12/23 or 4/5/23, both of those list very clearly how we've spent the funding since the approval of PAYGO. In 2019-2020, we spent $15 million. And then if you go down, the next three fiscal years, we spent $53 million, $50 million, and $50 million. This was a 10-year plan that was designed to spend $25 million per year. So what we did, as our county administrator kept talking about, we front-loaded the expenses. So when you look at 23-24, you'll see that there's a blank there. It's because we did a lot of the road repairs in the first 4 years, or really the second, third, and fourth year of the plan. And so if we want to, as a county, say this is such a critical issue that we're going to spend more money, we want to continue to spend $25 million per year, that would look like an additional $125 million that would need to come out of the general fund, because that would exceed what PAYGO, what we said to the voters about the expenses for PAYGO. So that means that we're actually talking cuts. And I'm not in favor of doing that. I do think if you look at the breakdown of where the roads have been repaired, District 5 and District 2 have the least amount of roads in there. It was explained today at the meeting, and again, when the item passed, that we're looking at unincorporated roads because the city of Tucson deals with a lot of the within the city roads. I have some issue with that, considering that many of our constituents in District 5, who are all Pima County taxpayers, should have their tax dollars working for them as well. And so we'll continue to advocate for that. So if we do put any additional funding into PAYGO, we will be requesting that there is a better equitable distribution of those funds, because those won't be part of the official PAYGO program. Those would be coming out of the general fund. And I'm disinclined to support that, because I do know that we're looking at some deficits in different areas in our budget, and $125 million would mean significant cuts in some other areas. But that'll be a discussion for an upcoming meeting, I'm sure. The D5 Art Gallery, all of the young people that submitted art is now up on our website. We'll go ahead and include a link. Please, go through and just look at some of the amazing artwork by our young people in District 5. And as a reminder, the prompt was, what do you love about District 5? Like, what do you love about where you live? Period Poverty Awareness Week is going to be May 22nd through the 28th. So buy your products now. We're going to be working with our libraries again, and our city council offices, the mayor's office, and a lot of different organizations that have agreed to have a donation box in their lobby, including in Pima County. But start gathering those products. And then we have D5 is working with Barrio Kroger Lane on this Saturday, April 22nd. It's Earth Day cleanup. So if you can come out and join us, it'll be 879 West 20th Street is where we'll be meeting, and a flyer will be at the end of this video. I want to say, take a point of personal privilege and say happy birthday to my brother Floyd. He's an amazing artist. He is the creator of this lovely little art, amongst many others, but I see this every day, so it reminds me of his contribution to the image of District 5. So I appreciate you, and happy birthday. Our next meeting is going to be Tuesday, May 2nd. So I encourage you, you can sign up for Call to the Audience online, and I would love to see more people there talking about issues that affect Pima County residents. We did have a moment of personal privilege to mourn the loss of Barbara Escobar, who I had the pleasure of knowing, and we did a moment of silence for her. She died on April 7th after a long battle with cancer. She was only 57 years old. You will be missed so much, Barbara, and thank you for all you did for all of Pima County and all of our citizens. It was we offer our sympathy and condolences to friends and family and everyone who worked with her, because I know everyone is really mourning today. Well, I want to thank you all for paying attention to Pima County politics. I'll see you at the Mariachi Conference. Stay safe, my friends.